Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Lathrix, and welcome to a brand new hull. A pretty empty hull, but a hull nonetheless. It's pretty much just a solid lump of wood at the moment, with a small engine stolen from the fortress using the prefab system, and two very weak laser systems, which can only fire up as an anti-bomber procedure, because off-camera, and well, I'll explain in a second exactly what's happened, but off-camera there's been a lot of things going on, including battles against the Angry Chicken, which actually was surprisingly easy to kill, possibly because it rammed itself into the mountains. Hurrah for good luck for us, and terrible luck for the Deepwater Guard. Though to fully explain what's really been going on, we need to get over to the main base, which, as you may see, it now has a new addition which spawns with it. Yes, I've been messing around with the sub-vehicle spawners for a little while off camera, and well, I made that. It's really cheap. It's got ammo purely to be a distraction. Originally it wasn't even going to have weapons, but I thought, well, if I'm going to put ammo on there to make it a bigger threat, may as well put a very weak missile system on. It fires EMP missiles. It's a disruption balloon. It costs less than 1,000 metal, less than 1,000 wood. It's that. So yeah, I actually have recorded another episode and a half, but I've decided not to publish them, as when I was doing the editing, I realised one thing. It was remarkably boring. I mean, that is even by my standards, it was very, very boring. So today, we're going to start from where I left off. There were several fights, which I may have the footage for. If so, I'll put them here. And if not, then we'll just continue as we were here. So, yeah, I've got a little dock here, a little pier, which leads to the sub-vehicle spawner. I will be making different sub-vehicles for the future. Most likely, since all of you want me to, I'll make a aircraft carrier. Or something similar to that. Anyway, back to our new ship. There we are. Now, the new ship will lead us to victory against the enemy. It's been made to be bigger than the usual starter ship because I want several things on it. So, I want it to be quick. That's one of the things. That's one of the prerequisites. I've got a tiny little keel here which isn't even full. It's just there to weigh us down a little bit. It's using lead on both sides. But yeah, I want it to be quick. I want it to be agile, and I'm not quite sure what kind of weapon I actually want it to have. Originally I had a turret here, as you can probably tell by the gap, but I decided against it after I'd placed it, as I didn't really want a turret in this section. Although I might still go back to that. One thing I'm thinking of, because I want to check something very quickly. Let's put down an AI controller. Yeah, there you go. Minimum range, maximum range, excellent. So, I want to see, if I put down a missile system, can I check easily how far my missiles can actually go? That's the question I've kind of got. So let's put a missile block, however many, doesn't really matter too much. Okay, awesome. And the idea is okay, so warhead delay at maximum. I just want to see, if I follow this shot, can I see how far it goes? Distance from launch pad, excellent. Okay, so what I'm thinking is a really short range missile system, which is set up to only fire when it's in range, thus not losing loads upon loads upon loads of our glorious resource. And where I want that to be will most likely be in front of a cannon. So I'm thinking a small dual barrel cannon here, and then possibly here just a front-facing missile system, which is completely ran by the whole idea of do not fire unless in range, and then the range being remarkably short. So how would I want to do that? That's the big question. How would I want this missile system to be? And I know I've played with missile systems a bit too much in this series already. I will try to go away from them with weak laser systems and possibly some novel ideas in the future, but right now I kind of just want to stick with this. So let's imagine this is a wall all the way up, so I can't, it's going to be quite high because that's where everything's going to be. The AI system, our actual command deck and everything will be there. So the missile system will be here, after a small boardwalk, and how I'm thinking is, how about if we go, let's put it down first, so custom cannon, nope, missiles, torpedoes, missile controller. As they'll be quite small, the amount of ammo per shot hopefully will be quite little. So let's go with that. So this will be very short range. This is not going to be the main weapon system, that will be the cannon. What I am thinking is, what if we had it like a starting off at perhaps this height, possibly higher. Probably at that height, and then going down one, like a tier system. Then each one has missiles on that piece of metal, and it goes down and down and down, and you get the general idea there. Again, because they'll be so small, their payload will be quite strong still, just they'll be remarkably cheap to fire, so the whole concept of firing several of them at once shouldn't be too bad. And yes, I know I just accidentally destroyed a beam and put in regular blocks. I am aware of what I've just done. Actually, the whole thing got destroyed, so let's just replace it. And then press replace, and replaced, fantastic. That goes there. But you get the general idea. And I quite like that concept. I've never really done swarm missiles until I started doing the fortress recently, and I kind of fell in love with them. So this will be one lower, then the next one will be all the way on the floor. The problem is, how do I actually set this up with the AI? And I'm thinking how we would do that would be something like... So replace that for a second. So that then splits off into both sides, but perhaps we can have that underneath. Actually, that'd be a lot better, yeah. So we can fill in... So we don't have to make it obvious the missile system can actually be right here, actually. This is quite a nice spot for it. So let's go AI, missiles and missile controller. Then we have the 6-way missile connectors, like so. Okay, break through. And we have the first set, which we can put down as well, just so it looks like that. So we have that on each piece, essentially. And then this goes down like so. Yep. Where is what's behind here, isn't it? Okay. So we're going to have to break through the wall, that's fine. So that should now be connected, which it is. Okay, and we do that again for the last one as well. So up and down, and then go through the hull, and then reattach to the main piece like so. Okay, that can be done a lot with a lot more, what do you call it, a lot more finesse, I believe, but that's fine. That's fine for now. That's fine for now. Just quickly fill those holes we just made. And we can armor that up later. So the idea is, there you go, it's a swarm missile that's been attached to the front. Okay, so continuing then, with missiles and torpedoes. Actually, we don't need it. Oh, I thought we don't actually need it that high, do we? No, that'd be silly to make it this high. So let's just quickly remove these. We can have it one lower because the missile can actually, blocks themselves can actually rest on it. They don't need to be any higher than that. So 6-way connectors, and like so, and then like so. Missile launch pads. It does connect, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Excellent. So this is going to be a lot of missiles. Essentially, it's going to be a lot of missiles. My lord. Okay, so how many do you want then? So let's have a quick look. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you had 3, we can have 2 fuel tanks. That's all. That's well and good. But we'd still, it does shoot forward, so we don't necessarily need the 1 turn. But I still would like the 1 turn. That's the problem. But I have a horrible feeling that this is a remarkably, like, even to the extent I was thinking about, this will be too short range. Oh, of course, I'm not actually near the missile block, am I? Which is underneath the damn thing. There you go. Fire! Nope. Fire! Oh, of course, we don't have friend or foe. Well, that's going to hit the... Well, that actually... Ooh, did I manage to hit there? The one didn't, but the other did. That's if we have the 1 turn. If we don't have the 1 turn, it could go a little bit further and still keep the very small missile, which I'm kind of looking at, honestly, because this is probably about that size I actually want. Making it 1 bigger would make it a lot easier. Adding extra fins would also make it a lot easier, because then it would be a lot more maneuverable, particularly on such a short-range weapon. Of course, we don't actually have any ammo currently on this ship, so let's just quickly put down an ammo barrel so we can keep testing. Oops. Let's try not to destroy the entire woodwork of the ship, shall we? Okay, and poop. Once again, this is where we hit the fortress. It doesn't really matter too much. 2 little explosive warheads won't really do too much. How far could it go? Okay, it started to run out around about 500. But the turning was brilliant. This was meant to be the short-range weapon, I suppose. That wouldn't be too bad if we actually did have it like this. Do I want to keep it as it is? I do like the concept of short-range weapons like this, particularly when they're so cheap, because it requires less ammo and can have a really nasty payload. Okay, so we'll keep this almost as a finisher weapon. So essentially, it's going to be here to fire once the enemy is close enough. I could have the ejectors. That wouldn't be too hard to do either, just be underneath. No, I don't think I will, for now. For now, we won't have ejectors, so let me just put the missiles in. Okay, time for test fire number 1. Now with the staggered fire and identify friend or foe. I'm hoping that I'll just go forward this time. There we go. So let's have a look at the range. It will be remarkably short, like I say, but the payload will be horrendous if this thing actually gets into close quarters. I think I'll probably shoot them faster, honestly, because, well, yeah, look at the reload on this. Very little ammo per shot. The range is pathetic, it must be said, but with the amount of shots, yeah, so when it gets into short range, the kind of swarm fire of this is actually pretty darn good. So, how do I want to deal with this? So that was just a test. Where do I actually want to put this missile system? Do I want it to stay where it is? Do I need it as thick, as wide as it is? I mean, I could perhaps minimize this by having one of the sides instead, put it in the middle. That would allow me to be a lot heavier. But that would allow me to armor it up a lot more than it currently is, which would be very nice indeed. I could just leave it as it is with the two sides like this, which is rather cool, it must be said. Fire again! Because why not? I like missiles! Can you tell? What's with that one? Why does that one keep skirmishing off to the side? I don't quite know. Well, the big thing is, they don't clip each other or anything, which is my big fear, having them so close. Of course, one of the big fears now I have is the fact that you can probably take out the whole system with one well-placed shot here, but that will change once I do more repair work to the ship. I think I might make it a little bit thinner than it is, though. Have it more centered, so perhaps 4 on each side rather than the massive amount it currently has. That way we could blend it into the command section there, which would be kind of cool. So, sort of ending about here-ish, so there's 4 on each side. So if I were to delete all this, let's have a look how that looks. Well, after looking at everything, I'm fairly safe to say that I definitely prefer 4 on each side. It just looks a lot sleeker, and honestly, we don't need the excess. So we can simply go ahead and attach this to where I just put the metal up behind it, just as an indicator, which actually is the perfect size now, so hurrah for that. Please allow me to put just a beam in between them. Well, I can put the beam in between here at least, so we kinda had one of it, so yay, better than usual. Then I'll add some paneling to the top or something in a bit. So let's just quickly go ahead and just do this. Yeah, okay, so I'll put the door somewhere else, probably on the sides. Actually, that's what I'll probably do. I'll end up having two side walls to put the beam in the middle, so I can just do a quick cheaty thing, which is, of course, doing this, because I can't bother to place each block. Yay! And then just put armor in between, because we can. Okay, so there we are. And then let's have the slopes. Where are you? Got metal beam down. No, bad. There we go. One day I'll be used to that and it'll be amazing and everyone will be like, oh my god, Lathrix has managed to figure out how to do basic block placement. But until that time, I'll simply sit here and burp as I just did. Anyway, continuing. There we go, I quite like that on the front, just a little swarm barrage here. Not really well protected, it must be said, but at least it's there. Okay, metal beams, let's pop them up. Okay, how do I want to do these beams? I kind of want them where... Okay, let's have it... So I can't have it as a full beam already, that's fine. Kind of just want it where the missile sections are, like that. Then I want the small piece like this. Okay. So it looks like it's all like steam... Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. Which is significantly more than liking it a little. But not quite as much as liking it a hell of a lot, which implies hell, which of course we all love. Which makes complete sense. Let's see, do I put this like here? Sure. And then that can probably just finish off. Can I not just replace that? No, could just replace a piece of that metal there since it's only a block, not a beam. And the same again. What's in the way now? This again, there's a block. Darn you blocks. I'm guessing the way of my artistic vision, which isn't really that artistic. Okay, I actually really like that. I do like that. It's got sporting the colours of Grandfather Nurgle, or Papa Nurgle, whichever version you want to speak of. So, we now have the front missile system sorted, the back laser system sorted. What we need to do now is just the innards, which is kind of the boring stuff with the ammo and stuff. We need to add an AI, we need to add the back. So I'll do a bit of work with that, and I'll be right back. Well, I've made a very odd-looking kind of area here with the AI nicely nestled in a metal box at the back. But yeah, I actually really like how this has turned out. It looks sleek, and these look like engine exhausts actually right now, which is kind of weird. But yep, it now has an AI, which is awesome. So we're going to go ahead and do one final test with the missiles to see just how far they do go, and then we're going to go ahead and set up its own weapon AI. So, okay, it runs out of fuel around about 400, 500. It goes a little bit further though, so I'm going to say 550 to 500 is how far the missiles will shoot. Any further than that, and it just won't even attempt it, because otherwise it'll just be silly. So, local weapons controller, put it here. We're actually going to add another identify friend or foe down here, and where are you? And I will remove the old ones in a bit, so I'd rather these to be next to that, so if one goes down, the whole lot goes down, so I don't have a missile system without friend or foe, for instance, which would be kind of catastrophic in the worst situation. Click OK. So, minimum range to engage would be 0, maximum range to engage, which is nice and simple. We want around about 500. So there we go. So, after 500, is it meters in this game? I don't know. Whatever the measurement is, it will no longer engage, it will no longer fire the missiles. Meaning that we won't randomly start wasting ammo out of nowhere. Okay, so next is the turret. Now, I'm not sure about the turret, honestly. I like the short-range missiles, I like how it's turned out, but I don't know how I want to do the turret exactly. Part of me kind of wants to put turrets on the side or something like that, but I think it would just be best on top. Now, we have two choices. A long-range sniper turret, which has a very low fire rate but high damage to do damage while we're going in, or a semi-accurate, extremely fast fire rate gun, making even the one at the fortress go to shame. Since we don't have much resource, it probably won't have many explosive barrels or anything, so it's just sheer number of shots would be its big thing. Now, I normally do go with the higher gauge sniper weapon, so this time I think what we're going to do is an inaccurate regular gun. Then later on, if we ever want to add more guns to this, we can always widen the hull and add more that way. So let's add add a new object, and let's quickly add the 360 turret. We don't want it to be 180, we want it to be a regular precision, and we want it to be, let's say, about here. Not quite at the back, but somewhere in the middle-ish. Not quite in the centre of mass, though. So about there. Okay. So then what do we want to do? Well, I want to do lots of things. So, I'm tempted to do a quad barrel. Probably wouldn't turn out too well, though. Probably would not turn out too well. But my lord, would it be fun? And you do have to sometimes consider that. Would it be fun? Yes. Well, screw it. Let's do it. But let's not just for now. Okay, just use regular blocks. Oh, we could do it though. So basically 4 barrels. So it'd have to look like this. See, the big problem is these two wouldn't attach correctly. So I'd have to have these two a little bit back, and by that they wouldn't attach correctly, I mean they'd all attach to each other, which would cause all sorts of issues. So you'd have to be one higher at least, so about here. Then firing pieces, so custom cannons, firing pieces, like that. See, that's an odd one. That's really is quite an odd one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just some counting what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then let's do regular barrels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yes, I do realise that the regular barrels do decrease in accuracy far faster than motor barrels. I just like this shape. I just like the shape that turns out because it looks kind of natural. So it could have that as a main gun. Very quick fire rate. We could add explosive barrels. I guess it would work. These would have to be on this side. There's another problem. It'd end up being too big. Unless I put this one here instead. Have it more clumped up. Firing piece here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. So a quick look then, if we started doing it like this, if we did start doing it like this, I could put this straight down. So I can delete this. Then have that kind of run across the floor. Of course we have already run out of resources, but we can always skip ahead in a second. Then this one would have to be kind of suspended in the air and go back to about here. Of course, remember, there is 4 of them, so we are basically timesing 4 by our fire rate. We're not just looking at one turret here. Okay, we'll see if we can make this work. So back in a second when we've actually got some more resources to play with. Well, here comes quite a scary opponent, which will give us some resource, because of course we are now in the 0.01 resource rather than 0 again. Oh yes, that would be... Oh my lord, I just realised there's even more stuff you missed from last episode. I've decided to go back to 0.01. I think my penance has been paid for the settings going really screwy. So, let's begin the battle. Let's leave it as is. Default is good. Default is good. It's fair and wise and I don't know else. Is my IR... Yeah, I think it's off because... Oh yeah, the balloon's currently damaged, isn't it? I forgot about that. Yeah, the balloon won't be helping. The balloon won't be helping. Where are my missiles trying to... Oh, this... I hate these things. Missiles have such trouble going for them because I have certain elements of them in really weird places. But it seems like we managed to cut through it anyway, and hopefully now I've changed target. Doesn't seem to be the scariest of opponents anymore. But yes, one other thing is I've decided this is how I'm going to be doing my buffs. I'll be adding 10 or 20 every time I defeat an enemy base. That is, of course, the final structure of them of the side. Okay, I think I'm going to try and go for the Atlas, which is currently stuck, for 2 reasons. One, I do want the resource to finish off my ship. I'd love to finish the ship today. Secondly, I think it's stuck, which may make it a little bit difficult for some of my shots. Okay, so let's turn off my starting fortress. I'll leave on the balloon, because A, I don't think the balloon actually has its weapon system online. I'm not too sure about that, but I don't think it does. And B, it's only got EMP warheads anyway, which tend not to do any... Well, they do a little bit, because they actually do have kinetic impact damage. They just don't have any explosives to them. That's not us exploding, is it? No good. Our shields, remarkably good, by the way. Strength 2 shields. I can't recommend them enough. I think this is an Atlas retrofit in front of us. I'm trying to hit the balloons with that volley. There's 2 damage. Okay, there we go. Hit one of the balloons. Can I get on board from one big jump? Yes, we can. Excellent. Okay, so the AI is underneath here. The amount of times I've boarded at Atlases now. Okay, it's changed gun to our SMG. I'm not using the minigun because I tend to find it a bit too uncontrollable. I end up destroying things I don't want to destroy. Well, there's the AI, but I don't want to be too close because it will explode. There we go. You mine now? You should be mine now. Yay! We have an Atlas. Welcome to the crew, lad. Welcome to the crew. However, can I actually get you out of the combat? Can I make you flee? I can. Good. Because I don't want you actually in the fight right now. Thank you. Okay, so starting fortress, turn back on. It'll be very difficult to capture the thing we see there. The River Home without it taking at least some damage, because the AI is in the centre there, kind of inside the main hull, which is remarkably difficult to actually get to because of all the moving around. Okay, I think that'll probably be enough now. Let's see if we can capture that. So off. We definitely did enough damage to cause it to capsize at least. I can't help but fire the blunderbuss. I do love the blunderbuss just because it's difficult to completely miss with. And with my awesome level of accuracy, that's a godsend. What the hell are you doing in here? No, seriously, what is... Was there a... I don't know, that didn't used to be there. And welcome to the team, lad. Welcome to the team. I suppose you're the Atlas. Where's the Atlas gone then? Oh, it's where it left off. Okay, so we have a River Home and an Atlas. Both, we are going to be scrapping both, though, however. We won't be keeping them. So thank you so much for your generous donation of every kind of resource possible. It was very kind of you. Whoa, that was way more resource than I expected. There's the problem. That's why I don't want to do capturing runs too often, because you do get so much resource, it can become ludicrous, so I won't be doing that again for quite some time. Okay, back to what I was trying to do, so... I'm going to keep that, because I don't want it to be too high. Let's keep that low. I can make these go back in on themselves to... Oh, that won't work at all. It's not, that's not far enough. I wanted it to have a too high gap. If we do this, they'll connect. See, there's the problem. I wish you could connect them all and it'd be shared evenly, but sadly that's not how it works. If it did, it'd make making like quad barrels and stuff really, really easy. Okay, so let's be careful with this. So we want the automatic orientations, and we're going to put them here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to try and do the same to the other piece, which will move a little bit further back. So, automatic. Ah. How are we going to do that then? Guess we could have the... Oh, ammo boxes don't connect. That'll be actually really easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is why I don't tend to do multi-barrel stuff. I'm not good at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it should shoot reasonably fast right now. If nothing else. That's kind of awesome. I do actually like that, I must say. It's not as fast as I expected it to be, but I love the rhythm of that. Just boom, boom, boom. That's a very satisfying gun. Okay, I might actually leave it like that then. Just add some more ammo boxes for the hell of it. So 1, 2, 3. Oops, no, mirror mode. See, I can't add ammo boxes here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't want the accuracy to be perfect. This way, the shot kind of acts almost like a shotgun. In that it'll hit the entire area where it's aiming at, which is the point. Do I want it to shoot any faster than that? I kind of don't, because I actually really enjoyed how that shoots. I could make it shoot faster. That's certainly a thing I could do. But I don't think I want it to. That's the thing. I don't think I actually want it to shoot any faster than that. I like it as it is. Can't add those there. Obviously there's better ways of doing this, what I've just done, and it's just me throwing things together really and seeing what sticks. Do I want explosives then? Well, yeah, because it makes them so much better. Okay, so 1, 2. Can't put them there either because it'll not share properly. So currently they'll have, but both the top ones have 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Then this one can have another 2. This one can then also do the same logic. Okay, I don't think that'll be every shot, but let's see. Okay, it does do them at least. I think really if it could have every shot as explosive, that'd be awesome. But that would definitely require the turret to be bigger than I wanted. Again, I don't want it to be too big. I guess I could make it go forward a bit though. There's the thing, I haven't considered that. I could make it go forward a bit, so I'll do that. So I'll make all the connection pieces go forward. Well, we now have multicoloured shots. A remarkably loud set of multicoloured shots. Here's the problem with From the Depths. If you up the sound to it, you can have some serious issues because in some parts the audio is remarkably quiet, and in other parts it's remarkably loud, and it's very difficult to get the fine tuning sorted, particularly someone like me who likes recording fraps, which does sadly compress both the audio and the visual in one thing, which of course leads to some good things like perfect sync and everything, but also has some issues. So I don't think we can have much better than this. Do we want to increase the gauge at all? Let's increase the gauge by just 1, just to increase the barrel size more. Honestly, that's literally why I'm doing this. I just want bigger barrels. Yeah, that looks better. And then we just find a space for the other ones, the top ones, which are these. Click. Don't want any bigger than that. Well, if we're going to have like 4 shots like a shotgun, I could increase it twice. It also slow down the fire rate, which of course would increase the likelihood of a shot actually containing a explosive or armor piercing or both round, and increase accuracy further. Although we don't want accuracy increased by too much. So it's explosive armor and explosive, explosive armor and explosive. Okay, that's good enough. I like this turret. Okay, let's armor it up and call it done. Well, here we have it. The turret is pretty much finished. We just need to add the AI to it, and then that's done. So we have the turret, we have the close-range missile system, and we have most of the propulsion sorted. The only things we need to do now is sideways propulsion and the actual ammo storage itself, which is probably just going to be a huge metal box of safety somewhere near the back, like it always is and always shall be. So water, and we want the, where are you, boat rudder, which helps with the AI and also of course provides some turning by itself, which is always good. And then we want boat propeller, regular boat propeller, and we'll just add those to the front quickly. Well, there we have it. I fixed the turret. I noticed there was a slight error in my placement, that 6-way connectors do actually connect to firing pieces if placed on top of them, so I simply raised them by 1, and now they're all separated again. I have added a movement ability. I've added a small ammo room in the center, which is just basically a metal block, and I've added full propulsion, so this thing can now go at actually quite a decent rate. I will be weighing down the front and adding shields off camera. It doesn't actually tip though, it just kind of noses up a little bit, so it does need more weight at the front, because obviously right now this is hollow. I'll be adding the laser defense system there against missiles, so that's where the weight will come from. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to call it Charnel, which is quite a morbid term, honestly. It isn't a bacterial term for once, but it is quite morbid. Charnel, a charnel house is basically a room where, well, skeletons and the remains of humans are stored, generally built by churches and stuff. But it's also, if you search for the game Sacrifice, or just search for Charnel in Google, you'll find a very morbid-looking god, the god of death, decay, and all sorts of horrible things. So it's named after him. Ah, how sweet. And the reason is, I kind of thought these almost looked like rib cages. And I thought it was quite a skeletal structure, so I thought it should be named something equally as morbid once that thought popped into my head. So, in the next episode we'll be sending this against the Deepwater Guard to gain some ground, with shields and everything. So, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you again, and goodbye.